Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Chris Allen with your weather podcast for this February 25th. Starting out in the teens under a clear sky this morning, some 20s showing up here and there, but it's the talk of another little hit of snow, and I do mean a little hit of snow, as we get into later tonight and early Thursday. It's not going to be too big of a deal, I don't think. Comparatively speaking to what we had last week, I mean, this is going to be a cakewalk in some cases compared to that. We'll have to contend with another shot of Arctic air, at least for another day or so, before a big warm-up comes our way for the weekend. We may be even talking about thunderstorms in the 7-day forecast. How about that for a little weather variety? Yeah, it's crazy, I know. 30 was the official high yesterday in Bowling Green. That's all we could muster. We were hoping to at least get into the mid-30s with the amount of sunshine that we had in a southwest wind, but it just didn't happen. So we only made it to 30, and that happened just before 6 p.m. last evening. 53 is the average high temperature, so we were 23 degrees off the mark. 20 was our overnight low. 32 is the average for the day yesterday. So that's 12 degrees below average. A year ago, we had a high of 44 and a low of 25 back in 2014. And, of course, no precipitation at all past 24 hours. We're still stuck at 4 inches total for the month of February, which puts us on pace where we should be. We're actually over by about 0.6 of an inch of precipitation for the month on average. Year to date, we're actually a little behind by about 1 inch and 15 hundredths. Not bad, though. I think we're pacing pretty well for where we are in the year. Today, high pressure continues to hold strong until the next storm system arrives later this evening. And as it comes in, it is actually going to approach from our south. There's an area of low pressure that's over, about the Rio Grande Valley, southern Texas, northern Old Mexico. And it's going to start to help draw in moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. Actually, the high-pressure ridge that's over us right now is also going to help assist in bringing in some of that Gulf moisture. So it's going to set up what we call an inverted trough. It's just a little disturbance, a little short wave in the atmosphere. And what that does, that little ripple, it's kind of like when you throw a little pebble across the creek. You know, the weather's very tranquil, the water is still, and then when you throw that little pebble across the creek, it disturbs the atmosphere and causes these little disturbances and these little ripples, these waves we call them. And any of those waves can help bring in moisture, and therefore that's why we're putting in the chance of some light snow coming in for tonight. But it will be warmer today with increasing clouds, especially. We'll start clear, then the clouds will increase later this morning into the afternoon. We're hoping for a high today around 37 with a northeast wind at 5. For tonight, there is that 30% chance of light snow. And we're calling for primarily, according to Future Max Snow Predictor, which pretty much nailed the big event last week and all the little ones that have been since then, the additional dusting of snow and light couple of inches and the heavy rain over the weekend. Well, it's saying about a dusting to an inch of new snow is possible from about Bowling Green east. And we're talking over toward the Lake Cumberland area. You actually stand the better chance of getting some light or minor accumulation of snow later tonight. We're going to call for a low of 24 with that light snow coming in. Now, there will be an additional disturbance as it drops from the north out of the Great Lakes southward on Thursday. That's going to reinforce the Arctic air. And then some of the folks to the north of us could pick up on some light snow showers or flurries during the day on Thursday. That would be an additional maybe light dusting a quarter inch of snow, maybe in some cases. We're only going to get up to 33 for a high on Thursday with an additional 30% chance of light snow or flurries. So again, this is not going to be anything compared to the big deal we had last week. This would be, at the most, an inch or higher to the east, southeast of us, say over toward the Lake Cumberland area or along the Cumberland Plateau, along the Tennessee border. And the higher elevations, that's where you could pick up maybe a little bit more. But for the Bowling Green area, a dusting to an inch is certainly possible. Now, after we get rid of that, we're going to see a chilly day on Friday with a mainly sunny sky, but a high of only 25. But hold on. Saturday, the warm-up begins. You may not feel it at first as we get up to 37 and partly cloudy skies, but you're going to feel it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The first 3 days of March are going to feel very spring-like. So, we start with Sunday, March 1st. We're going to find moisture coming in. Pretty good system coming in for the weekend or the beginning of next week. We're going to call for a 30% chance of rain, which could start maybe, depending on temperature, early Sunday morning as a brief winter mix. But then it goes to all rain as we get above freezing, and we're calling for a high of 52 degrees by Sunday afternoon with a south wind, rather breezy, 12 to 26 miles per hour. On Monday, a 60% chance of rain likely and a high of 50. And then as we get into Tuesday of next week, get this, 60% chance of showers, perhaps even a few thunderstorms. I know, we go from frozen temperatures and a chance of snow tonight to thunderstorms by Tuesday. And we'll see a high almost near 60 degrees. So spring is trying its best as it's maybe looking at the calendar and looking at March. And all right, we got to shake things up here. We got to get the transition beginning. So this may be the first signal that, we're going to start to see some transitional numbers from the colder, snowy, icy regime that we've had for the last week or two into something a little more spring-like as we get into the first few days of March. So some of the rainfall could be heavy at times during the day, Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday, especially if we do happen to pick up on some thunderstorms. Now, we're not calling for any severe weather, but thunderstorms, that's a big change. That's a big change from what we've had of late. So, again, a little quick hit of snow tonight, a dusting up to an inch for the Bowling Green area, maybe some higher amounts, an inch and a half or so to the east along the Lake Cumberland region and the Cumberland Plateau, and then that should be it as far as any real snow chances in the forecast for the next 7 days in the warm-up then to follow. In the meantime, have a great day. God bless you, and thank you so much for listening. Know the weather before it knows you. I'll see you live at 5:30 on AM Kentucky, streaming live to the WBKO app and to wbko.com.